With the release of the new Boeing 747 design for the Delta Reserve card, there are a lot of new customers out there on the market looking to get this card for the first time. So if that's you, let's take a deeper look at this card to see if it's actually going to be worth it for you. So speaking of this new Boeing 747 design for the Delta Reserve, let's look at the 3 different design options that you can choose from if you're to apply for this card. So looking at this box here, you can see that they have a 70% reclaimed plastic card, and if you're looking to apply for this card and get this design instead of either of the other two, then I don't know what to tell you. I mean, metal cards are the way to go. And with the 2 metal design options that they have, you can either get the purple metal card, or you can get the all-new Boeing 747 design for the Delta Reserve. Now, this card is all metal, and it's also made of 25% metal from a retired Boeing 747 aircraft. And on the card itself, they give you some information about this aircraft that the recycled metal comes from. The first cool thing to know is that this plane was flown for over 27 years, and in those 27 years, it covered over 68 million miles. And to put that into perspective, that many miles would have spanned the entire circumference of the world over 2,700 times, which is pretty crazy. This plane did that over the course of 14,100 flights and carried over 4 million passengers. Now, with all the cool information about the design out of the way, how and when can you get this card? Now, this card design is available until August 3rd of 2022, and that's the reason that I interrupted my normal schedule of posting to post this, because I wanted to give y'all an opportunity to apply for this card as soon as possible if it's one that you want. And not only can you get this design if you're applying fresh for the card, but if you already have the Delta Reserve card, you can actually request this design online through Amex's website. If you watched any other videos on this topic, you would see that a lot of people are kind of scared that they're going to run out of materials from this aircraft to be giving cards out, even before that August 3rd date that they've specified. However, I don't think that's the case. I feel like they'll have enough materials to cover everybody's applications, so I would just recommend that you apply before August 3rd and don't stress too much about it other than that. Now let's take a look at the welcome bonus, which this alone could make this card worth it for you. As you can see here, right now the public offer is 100,000 bonus miles after you spend $5,000 in purchases on your new card in the first 3 months. Now that offer is double what it was just a little bit ago, and it's only here until August 3rd. So again, if you're looking to apply for this card, now's the time. Additionally, I found that these points can be valued at about 1.3 cents per point. So this welcome bonus could be valued at about $1,300, give or take. And if you wanted to apply for the business version of this card, they're actually offering 110,000 bonus miles, which could be valued at about $1,430. Now let's talk about the annual fee that comes with this card, which is $550. Now, if you were to look at the sign-up bonus alone for this card, that would cover this annual fee for 2 years. But let's go ahead and see what other value we can get from this card so we can hopefully cancel out that annual fee. The first benefit to look at is how this card earns. And this card earns 3 times miles on Delta purchases made directly with Delta, and 1 times miles on everything else. Also, I do want to mention that the business card does actually give you an increased value of points at 1.5 times after you spend $150,000 on the card in 12 months. And I don't know about you, but I'm not a high roller like that, so that doesn't really apply to me, but I thought I'd mention it nonetheless. In addition to the earning rates that it gets, it comes with a whole host of featured benefits, and the main and most valuable one is going to be this Delta Reserve Annual Companion Certificate. What this certificate gets you is a domestic first class, Delta Comfort, or main cabin round trip each year upon renewal of your Delta Reserve American Express card. So obviously that perk alone could cover this annual fee cost for you, as long as this perk is something you care about. This card also gives you access to arguably some of the best lounges out there, like the Centurion Lounge, the Delta Sky Club, and Escape Lounges. Plus, you also receive 2 one-time guest passes to Delta Sky Clubs every year. In addition to that, you get $100 credit for TSA PreCheck or global entry. And if you have a premium card like this, you're likely going to be wanting to travel in style, so getting one of these memberships is almost a no-brainer. On top of that, your first checked bag is free for you and up to 9 other people traveling in your same party. And you also get priority boarding for you and your party as well. So this perk alone could also help reduce this annual fee like crazy. Something smaller but still pretty valuable is that you get 20% back on all in-flight purchases, like food or beverages, for example. And this card also comes with some perks for those of you who are looking to get status with Delta. So for you high spenders, if you spend $25,000 in 12 months, this will waive the medallion qualification dollar requirement to get you platinum, gold, or silver status with Delta. And if you spend $30,000 in 12 months, this will give you 15,000 medallion qualification miles, or MQMs, and this reward is available up to 4 times each year. And this card also comes with a host of different insurances. And instead of listing every single one of those here, I'm going to give you the broad categories of what they cover. They have insurances for car rental, checked baggage, carry-on baggage, trip delays, trip cancellations, cell phone protection, return protection, purchase protection, and extended warranty protections as well. Now that we've covered all the perks of this card, let's talk about who this card is actually good for. So I would say that this card is perfect for somebody who is looking for a luxury travel card but doesn't want to get something like the Amex Platinum. Unlike the Amex Platinum, this card doesn't come with a ton of credits that you have to find ways to use every single year, but this card still comes with a ton of value, especially in that annual certificate that you get for having this card. I would also say this card is good for someone looking for lounge access, especially someone who's looking for the higher tier lounge access. And on a different note, I feel like this card is also really good for somebody who is looking for a collector's card. Not only is it a really cool looking card, but it's also extremely rare in being made from that Boeing 747 747 metal. So if you're an airplane enthusiast or you just like really cool looking cards, then this could be the card for you. And while we're on the topic of people who should be getting this card, if you're an Amex customer already, this application should only give you a soft pull, so there's another reason that you should go ahead and go for it. But on the other hand, who shouldn't get this card? The most obvious are people who just don't travel with Delta and don't want to switch to them in the future. But also, I wouldn't get this card if you are not somebody who's looking for a premium travel card at the moment. However, if you do already have a premium travel card, I still wouldn't get this card if you're happy with the credits that that card gives you, unless you want to try a new one for a year and see how it works out. And lastly, I would say that if you are somebody who is looking to get Chase cards in the near future and you're close to that 524 limit, I would not recommend getting this card. But if this is a card that you really want and you don't really care about your Chase 524 status, then I would probably just go for it. Now, yes, those are two categories of people who should and shouldn't get this card, but what are the strategies that you can actually implement with this card if you're thinking about getting it, but you don't know if you want to keep it forever? I would recommend that you get this card and pay the annual fee of $550 for 1 year, and then I would use their travel benefits and see if you actually profit from having this card in your wallet. And then after having this card for a year, I would reevaluate and see how much value you actually gain from this card. And if it was profitable for you, then I would either just keep this card, or I would call Amex up and try to get a retention offer from them just to make having the card even better. But if you're someone that actually didn't get much value from the card and you don't want to keep it anymore, then I would still call Amex and try to get a retention offer. But if they don't give you a retention offer, or it's just not as high as you would have liked, then I would recommend downgrading to the Delta Blue card, which has no annual fee. I just wouldn't downgrade or cancel the card too soon so you can avoid being on Amex's bad side. Just keep in mind, if you do get the business version of this card, the only downgrade path is to the Delta Gold card, which still has an annual fee. If you're someone who doesn't like being tied down to one airline and you're looking for a more general mid to high tier card that earns 3 times back on flights with any airline and 4 times back on restaurants and grocery spend, then look no further than the Amex Gold card and watch this video here where I go ahead and apply for that card. But if you're not ready to step into the world of high annual fees, then check out this video here where I compare the two Chase Freedom cards so you can see which one is best for you. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel, and I'll catch you guys next time.